Hi there. Today we're going to talk about how to minimize errors in math. One way is to organize your work. And when it comes to math, I always say it is really important to use a pencil. Reason for that is that you can erase your work more easily. That is extremely important. Another thing to do when we talk about organizing our work, we mean making sure that your numbers are written clearly and they line up properly, and I'll explain that by using an example. I will demonstrate how to do that. Okay, so here is the example. 5 1/3 plus 7 1/6. Okay, so here's the start of it. I've written out over here what these go to, but do you notice something? That this in particular here, we went 5 times 3 is 15, 1 is 16, it goes there, denominator goes there. But look what happened here. 6 times 7 is what? Well, it's 42. It's certainly not 13 plus 1. So 6 plus 7 is 13, plus, but we know it has to be times. So why is it easy to make a mistake like this when we're lining it up across? I think when we're going quickly, we have other things in our minds, maybe we're not completely focused, this can happen. But when you have a visual like this and you say, well, I know I have to go 7 times 6, which is 42, plus 1. That will then equal 43, and the denominator goes over there, which is 6. So this is what should have been here. So instead of writing it across, we are going to make it vertical. Regardless how you do it, you must do each step carefully, and you must not take shortcuts. It's very, very important that you follow through with what you know you are supposed to do. So, as you can see here, we end up with 16 over 3 if we are changing these to improper fractions, and we have 43 over 6. Now we are starting to get larger numbers. So in order to get these to be common denominators, we are going to have to change this into sixths. So this stays as that, and then now we're going to go times 2 and times 2. So now we have 6 and we have 32. And now we're adding 32 and 43 to give us 75 over 6. Let's just stop here for a minute and let's go over to this side. So on this side here, the reason I say it's probably a good idea to do the fractions on their own first is because we're working with smaller numbers. And when you work with smaller numbers, there's a less of a chance than to make errors. All right, so over here we changed the thirds into sixths. We end up with, of course, times 2 to get to 6, and then we end up with 2 there. So we have here 2 plus 1 is 2 6 plus 1 6 is 3 sixths. So now we have completed the fractions. Now we do the whole numbers. So that's another way to do this. So now we've got 5 plus 7, which is 12. So actually there's your answer, but we know that 3 sixths, yes, you've got it, it's equal to 1/2. So your total answer is 12 and 1/2. So what we did here basically is we added the fraction first, and then we added the whole numbers. I'm going to do one more quick example this way. Before we do that, I'd forgotten to finish this one up over here. So here we go, 75. So it's 75 divided by 6 to get to our final answer. And we're going to go over on this side over here and do 6 divided into 75. So we start off by 7 divided by 6. Of course, that equals 1. 1 times 6 is 6. Subtract 1, bring down the 5. And of course, 6 into 15 goes twice. 2 times 6 is 12. And you end up with 3. The 3 goes up here. And we've got 3 and the denominator is 6. So we have 12 and 3/6, which equals, as you see, 12 and 1/2. But notice that the chance of maybe making an error, you've had to do this step over here, the dividing. So that's why I feel that this might be a better way to do it, because we are now taking steps to reduce the opportunity to make errors. Now I'm going to do a new question. Here it is over here, and I will do it the vertical way like this. So here we go. I'll do it really quickly. Okay, so here I've got it started already. In order to change these to common denominators, we had to change them to ninths, because we can see clearly that we go 3 times 3 to get to 9, and we already have 9, so there we've got common denominators. 3 times 2 is 6, and now we can add these fractions together, in which case you can see we have 10, because 6 ninths plus 4 ninths is 10 ninths. But in order now to change this, like on this side here, you change the 3/6 into 1/2 to get to its lowest terms. On this side, you have an improper fraction. And so to change that one, you're going 9 into 10, or 10 divided by 9, which is 1. 1 times 9 is 9. We have 1 left over. That 1 goes up, so it's 1 and 1/9. 1 and 1/9. Now we're going to add our whole numbers on this side over here. We're going to add these two, and there we get 12. But do you see that you already have a whole number in the answer? So now you're going to make sure you add your whole numbers together. So you're going to add this whole number along with that whole number, because your answer is going to go down here. Let's make a better line here. There it is. That's where your answer is going to go. So you're going to add your whole numbers there now. 12 plus 1 is 13, and the fraction here goes down 1/9. And there's your answer. So as you see, if you had changed these into now improper fractions, look how large it's going to get. 9 times 7 is 63, plus 4 is 67 over 9. Here you've got 15, 17, so you'd have to put 17 over 3, and then now you have to, it's a lot of extra steps and creating more opportunities for errors. So that's our main point during this YouTube video, is to talk about steps to take to ensure that you're reducing errors or minimizing the errors that can be created. Okay, so to recap what we've done, we talked about how to reduce errors, and so here is the list that we referred to earlier. We said that you should organize your work, sorry about that, and that meant making sure you have enough space to do your calculations. So if if you're going to do them right on the page, that's fine, but again, keep in mind it's important to be clear, otherwise it'd be easy for you to make some errors. Try to use a pencil so that when you do see you have an error, you can look after that without crossing it out. If you have a pen, it makes it not easy to read later. And then writing clearly and making sure that numbers line up. So that is really important, because, for example, when you are working on something like this here, if we didn't line these up properly, we're going to be in trouble. So the whole numbers go under whole numbers, fractions under fractions, and you notice how we have the equal sign and then they go straight across. That's really important. All right, hopefully this helps. And let me know if there's anything you need re-explained. be happy to do so. Good luck.